Hello everyone, welcome to Soulfire Studios, and today this video has been suggested by one of my subscribers named ZBrick Studios. Hopefully I said it right, but maybe I did. So this is his Megazord, but in my own interpretation. This is the Shine Sentai Crystallizer, or the Power Rangers Crystal Beasts or Crystal Knights Robo/Megazord. This is the Crystal King or the Crystal Knight Megazord. So without further ado, let's compare them to the originals. Shall we? Alright, I put up the original video for comparison, so let's get into it. First up is the Crystal Knight Zord, and this one is much smaller and much thinner than the version that you had, but it's still articulate as it has a head, elbows, arms, legs, and knees. I don't want to go in full in depth, but it doesn't use the Next Knight shield piece for the chest, but it still forms the chest piece. So yeah, we're gonna move on. Next up we have is the Crystal Dragon Zord, and this is the first time I've created a Green Ranger Zord in a while, since I never done one. But here it is. This one has much more white and less black. The head is no longer black, and this one, I'm pretty sure it's not as long as the original, but still pretty long. He can move at his head, his horns are made of ball joints. He can move his neck, which is the Megazord's knee joint, and he can move this tip part. He can move this side to side, but not left or right. So yeah, it had to sacrifice some flaws for the transformation. So let's move on. Next up is the Thunderbird Zord, and ignore the audio that is from my dining table. So this one is kind of weird because I have to design it like, I designed it like a jet. The wings are not entirely black. His head is gray instead of white. His body is visible. His hands are also visible. His articulation, he can move his neck and head. He can move his Megazord arms for the wings, but the wings are on separate ball joints. This joint is very loose though, by the way. So I don't want to go in full in depth on these Zords, since they're just reinterpretations of the original. So yeah, let's move on to the next Zord, which is the smallest. Next up is the Crystal Monkey Zord, and I'm pretty sure it's the same size, although I think it might be bigger in your version, considering your head is bigger. But this one is smaller, it's much more simplified, there's little to no effort to do it, so I'm not gonna do much, so let's move on. And lastly, you have the Crystal Beta Zord, and this one might have taken the design a little too far. You can see it has golden horns, 6 legs, it has a tail sword, which it doesn't plug into the Dragon Sword's sword, which is right there. It actually becomes the sword itself. So articulation, he can move his head. She can move his head, sorry. He can rotate it. His legs do not move, except for the back legs. And his tail can move up and down and side to side. So yeah, let's move on to the transformation, and we'll be back to compare the Megazord. Alright, ZBrick Studios, if you're watching if you're watching this, we've reached the best part of the video. Let's combine into the Crystal King. So let's combine!
Heaven knows the force of nature are coming like a hurricane. I'll take it down without a chaser. everybody knows my name. It ain't about the fame, I wanna be remembered for the way the world gon' change. Yes, I got fire in my blood when I move. No, you won't catch me holding on for a miracle. I'm right here and I got nothing to lose. Baby, I'm always looking up at the pinnacle. Never hold back, no. Give a little extra, always doing better. Keeping the heat on. Zero pressure, zero diamonds. And I'm gonna give it to you. Gotta grab before it goes. Even if it falls to ruins, I'll never give in to the pain. It ain't about the fame, I wanna be remembered for the way the world gon' change. Yes, I got fire in my blood when I move. No, you won't catch me holding out for a miracle. I'm right here and I got nothing to lose. Baby, I'm always looking up at the pinnacle. Never hold back, no. Give a little extra, always doing better. Keeping the heat on. Zero pressure, zero diamonds. 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 Yeah, I got fire in my blood when I move. No, you won't catch me holding on for a miracle. Right here and I got nothing to lose. Baby, I'm always looking up at the pinnacle. Never hold back, no. Give a little extra, always doing better. Keeping the heat on. Zero pressure, zero diamonds. Zero pressure, zero diamonds. Zero pressure, zero diamonds. Zero pressure, zero diamonds. Zero pressure, zero diamonds.
And here is the Crystal King or the Crystal Knight Megazord in its full glory. Yes, there is some differentiations, such as the sword being the entire Beetle Zord, but overall, it's not really bad. Except for the fact I can't get the helmet piece right. I really wanted those transparent pieces, but I don't have all of those in that transparency color. So I won't get into full depth of articulation, but I'm going to show you. But not all of it. He has a head and a neck joint. There's a shoulder pad, elbow bend. There's actually a waist rotation. I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to topple this figure over, since the joint I used is very loose. The camera can't focus. The wings are also on ball joints. Legs are on the same ball joint as every single Megazord I do, except for the Primal Endangered Megazord. He has a knee bend and foot joint. So yeah, the one thing I really like is how I actually got the Crystal Knight in there. He looks like the Robo Red Zord from Power Rangers Ninja Steel inside the Ninja Steel Megazord. Like, he's piloting the whole thing on his own. So yeah. So yeah, overall, my version of the Crystal King is not that bad, although it could use some improvement. Although I shouldn't have rebuilt it and experimented with a new mech frame and just kept it as it originally was. But I'm glad with it. So, thanks for watching. Zebrex, if you're watching this, I hope you like it, and peace.